Alright, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Ultimate Dirt TV. Tonight we're bringing you the FKAU Midget series. Tonight we come back to the famous Eldora Speedway, the Big E, located in Rossburg, Ohio. My name is Brett Will, if you are unfamiliar with Ultimate Dirt TV. And we are live on YouTube only. As drivers now on track for qualifying. We'll be able to see. In fact, we'll just bring that down just a tad. So we're on board here with Trent Gosley. Watching Gosley get around the racetrack. His first lap time 17.042. A 17.042, some of Australia's best. And I guess you could throw in a couple of Kiwi drivers as well. I believe this is round, I believe this is round number 6. So Trent Gosley at the moment, quick time with an 16.892. Lachlan Smith, second quick with a 16.895. You'll be able to see your top 10 on the left of your screen. Each driver getting a couple of laps. Brett Gerard's in 11. You're watching him on screen in car number 42. So we can get a couple other drivers here. We're actually watching the 666 of Lewis Stewart, who currently rides in position number 3. And he gets shuffled back to position number 4. James Robbie there. In the 41, it goes up to position number 2, but at the moment, it is Lachlan Smith. Danny Vassell 10th, Bob King 11th, James Robbie on the screen there in 2nd, Brett Junior Morris in a car number 18. We'll see what he can do on his opening lap. He's going to go to position number 7. And that rolls the 09, the TTL Down Under Graphics Media Speedway footage up a stimulator. I believe they've got SimSpec Engineering as well, maybe. It's the 09 of Joe Berkeley on the racetrack. Currently sits in position number 11. We'll see if he can better that and go a little bit quicker. So one of the only cars left to take a qualifying time in Joe Berkeley. That last time is good enough for 9th quick, a 16.957. A 16.957. Now let's see if this brings up our results. It looks like we're going to have Bob King going for another lap. So it's going to bring up the finishing results. Oh, no, it doesn't look like it. I love when this lags. Bob King in at 12th. Oh, there it goes. Wants to work now. Alright, there we have it. Lachlan Smith, quick time with a 16.748. James Robbie, second quick by a full 10th, 16.850. Matt McCutcheon with a 16.868, same time as Lewis Stewart. Zachary Phelan with a 16.874. Danny Vassell, 6th quick with a 16.889. Trent Gosley, 7th quick with a 16.892. 16.921 for Brett Junior Morris. Joel Berkeley and Harry Edwards with a 16.957. They round out your top 10. You go back to Gavin Sadler with a 16.999. Bob King with a 17.065. Marcus Kaniski with a 17.069. Matt Reed 17.072. Brett Gerath with a 17.138. Brendan Hamilton with a 17.156. 17.182 for Terry Marwood. John Schultz 17.207. Aaron Kelly 19th with a 17.274. Scott Griffiths with a 17.311 in 20th. You go back to 21st car. Tammy Bastain with a 17.332. George Fullerton 22nd. Cameron Dance and Trent Vardy. As we now go live for the starting grid here. Let's get that off the screen. And let's get that, let's get that. You know what, let's go with that. So your front row for, I believe this will be heat race number 1. Alright, so starting on the pole is going to be Lachlan Smith. Starting out of position at number 2 is going to be James Robbie. Row number 2 on the inside is the 19 of Matt McCutcheon alongside the 666 of Lewis Hewitt. In fact, Lewis Hewitt starts out of position, so that starting grid is incorrect. So let's get that off the screen. Why does this one lag now? Alright, so Lachlan Smith lines up on the inside of the front row in that 911. Lewis Hewitt in the 666 lines up out of position number 2. Out of position number 3, it's going to be the 7 of Trent Gosley lining up alongside, I believe that is Brendan Hamilton there. No, in fact, it's Harry Edwards. Position 5 will be Marcus Konitska lining up alongside Brendan Hamilton and Aaron Kelly and George Fullerton. We'll round out the field. We get set to go green, and we are racing here at the Eldora Speedway. Watch them come out of turn 2, down the back straight away. Into 3 and 4, Lachlan Smith, your race leader, Lewis Hewitt and Trent Gosley. In 2nd and 3rd, Lewis Hewitt going to the top side of the racetrack, Trent Gosley to the low side. Here comes Hewitt, he's got a bit of a run on Lachlan Smith. He keeps it pinned to the top side. Heat race number 1. 3 heat races tonight, nearly 3 wide off of turn number 4. Lachlan Smith, still your race leader. He goes to the top side. Lewis Hewitt goes straight through the middle in turns number 1 and 2. 2 down, 6 laps left to run here in this 8-lap heat race. Smith still hold down that number 1 position. Harry Edwards back there in 3rd. Make that 4th. This is Trent Gosley on the inside, and Harry Edwards, he's going to get a run off turn number 2 on the top side of the racetrack. Lap car in front of your race leader. In fact, the lap car goes to the low side, and they all get around safely and cleanly. Trent Gosley, the only driver in your top 4 that is on screen that is running the low side of the racetrack. All your drivers are up top. Smith goes through the middle. That'll complete 5 down, 3 to run. Can Hewitt reel in the 911 tonight's quick timer out of the 24 cars? Edwards trying to make that high side work. Trying to reel in your top 2, but at the moment they all look to be running the same speed. 3/10 separate 1st and 2nd, and then 2nd and 3rd as they go across the line. This time Lachlan Smith puts a 10th in between him and Lewis Hewitt. Hewitt runs through the middle in turn number 1 and 2. He does the same into 3 and 4. Big slide of a 10th there by Harry Edwards, and Lachlan Smith comes away with the win here in heat race number 1. Lachlan Smith Lewis Stewart will grab second. Harry Edwards will grab third. Trent Gosley will be fourth. Fifth will go to Marcus Konecka. Sixth, George Fulton, Aaron Kelly. And let's get that going there as we get set for heat race number 2. In caliber 41 on the pole, it's going to be James Robbie. Waiting for position number 2 to load in. Starting out of position number 3 is into the 18 of Brett Jr. Morris. To his outside in the 71, it's Gavin Sadler. In caliber 46 on the inside of row number 3, it's Matty Reid. To his outside in caliber 10, Terry Marwood. And just position number 2 is the 49 of Zach Phelan. And your last row on the inside in caliber 63, it's Scott Griffiths. And caliber 22, Cameron Dance, starts out of position number 8. Heat race number 2. Rolling out onto the racetrack. They'll go around one more time before they get the green flag. Those drivers roll around at about 40 to 45 miles per hour behind the iRacing official pace truck. It'll be James Robbie in the Design Builders Toyota GSR number 41 alongside the 49 of Zachary Phelan. Keep an eye on that second row. There's Brett Jr. Morris and also Gavin Sadler in the 71. You might see that it says 18th place. Don't worry about that. That will fix itself up here as the pace truck goes down into pit lane, and we are green here. Heat number 2, the mighty midgets around Eldora Speedway. 3 wide, and Cameron Dance already making moves on the outside of Matty Reid, and now Dance. He's the orange and white car, the TTL. In that 5th spot on the racetrack, but the battle is for the race lead. Phelan on the top side, Robbie on the low side, Brett Jr. Morris on the top side as well. Riding behind the black and silver, grey number 49. Robbie moves up, and Phelan has to get out of the gas just a little bit, but still, James Robbie. Here comes Brett Jr. Morris with a big slide job, takes over the race lead from third. Up to position number 1, and Gavin Sadler, he almost picked up a spot, but here comes Robbie back to the inside. Robbie and oh, it's going to be contact between Phelan and Brett Jr. Morris. Big wreck in turn number 1 and 2. The 49 still flipping. We go back towards the front of the field. James Robbie, you race leader from Gavin Sadler. And how about this? Cameron Dance from position number 8 up to position number 3. Heck of a drive from the 22. We're already past halfway complete here in heat number 2. 5 down, 3 to run. James Robbie 0.383 of a second ahead of Gavin Sadler. Sadler trying to reel him in these last couple of laps. 2 laps to run as the gap goes out to just over 4.5 tenths. Almost half a second lead here for James Robbie down the back straight away. Into turn number 3 and 4. And the white flag is out for the 41. Timed in second quick tonight. And looking to pick up a heat race win here. And put that 41 on the outside of the front row into 3 and 4 for the final time. There it is. James Robbie picks up the win. Gavin Sadler comes home in second. Third is going to go to Cameron Dance. Fourth is going to be Terry Marwood. Fifth will be Matty Reid. Sixth, Scott Griffiths, Brett Jr. Morris, and Zach Phelan round out 7th and 8th. As we go back live here for heat race number 3, the final heat race of the night before. I believe, the main event. Starting on the pole. In car number 19, it's Matt McCutcheon to his outside. In car number 97, it's Danny Vassell. Scheduled to start out of position number 3 is Joel Berkeley, but he's just missed the grid. He was on the grid and then missed it, so he's going to be coming from the back. Bob King starts at a position number 4. Moving up a row on the inside is going to be Brett Girardi in car number 42. So at position number 5, it'll be the 6 of Tammy Baston. And to his outside in car number 78, it's John Schultz. Starting shotgun at the back in car number 11 is Trent Vardy. And Joel Berkeley will have to serve, I believe, a 15-second penalty. So unless nobody crashes out, he will start position number 24. So McCutcheon and Danny Vassell is your front row for the third and final heat of the night. Green is out, and we are underway in the DWT 19. Matt McCutcheon leads down into 1 and 2. Right through the middle, keep an eye on Vassell in that 97. Andrews Crane higher. Working to the outside in turn number 3 and 4. Bob King trying to work the top side as well. Here comes the 42 as well on the inside. That's Brett Girardi, who was scheduled to start out of position 5. But due to Berkeley not getting back on the grid in time, he started position number 3. So for a lap at even gone green, he'd already picked up a couple of spots. Look at Bob King on the outside in the 51. How about that 51 rail on the top side? Big slide on there by Matt McCutcheon on himself. Bob King turns it back underneath. Now battle on for the race lead. 3 down, 5 to go. King with a monster slide job into 1 and 2. McCutcheon turns it back underneath him. And we've got a race on our hands. King with another big slide job. McCutcheon going to return serve out of turn number 4. Now the big slide job from McCutcheon. Well, this time King, is he going to turn it back underneath him? No. He's going to drive back down to the low side in 3 and 4. Slide job city already here in Eldora. And this is only a heat race. Awesome racing here between McCutcheon and King. Big sliders on each other. Slider again from McCutcheon. King, McCutcheon, they've gone at it for the past 3 laps. Oh, King drives it in deep. And almost too deep that he almost hit the wall. McCutcheon now going to return. That is close. And Bob King. Oh! King drives around the outside. Gets a little bit loose. Almost turned the car, and King throws a big slide job. And here comes McCutcheon again. What a battle. White flag is out here on Ultimate Dirt TV. McCutcheon slide jobbing King. Into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. King with a big slide job. McCutcheon turns it underneath him. Who gets the run out of turn number 4? Oh my, this is close. And Bob King picks up the win. What a drive. 0.075. Matt McCutcheon grabs second. Third, we'll go to Danny Vassell. Brett Girardi in 4th. 5th will be, I'm not too sure. It looks like we're going to have a last chance qualifier. Or are we going to have a 4th heat? Okay, it's going to be a last chance qualifier. No, maybe it's another heat race. Just having a look at... No, it is Trent Vardy, Zach Phelan. Yeah, no, this is the last chance qualifier, so we'll get your grid here. And wow, what a heat race that was. And it's starting on the pole in caliber 500, it's George Fullerton. To his outside in the 63, Scott Griffiths. Inside, row number 2 in the 78, John Schultz. To his outside is the 77 of Aaron Kelly. Brett Junior Morris lines up out of position number 5, and to his outside, the 09 is Joel Berkeley out of position number 6. Position 7, the 93 of Brendan Hamilton. To his outside, in car number 49, Zach Phelan. And Trent Vardy in the 11 car lines up at the back row, and that'll set our 9 car field. Looks like they may be taking not sure what they're taking in this one. But wow, what a race that was in heat race number 3. A lot to live up to for the rest of the night. McCutcheon and King put on a show. 12 laps of distance here in the last chance qualifier. He will take out, I believe it might be the final 5 spots. He gets set to go green, and this time it's going to be George Fullerton and Scott Griffiths. Oh, Fullerton into the wall, and a big contact and a big wreck for that 500 machine. Meanwhile, back out front, Scott Griffiths, your race leader. Schultz, you're watching on screen on the low side. Brett Junior Morris just gets into that right rear a little bit, and Junior Morris goes to the race lead in turn number 1 and 2. Here comes Berkeley, 3 wide on the bottom side of the racetrack. Scott Griffiths just falling off a little bit there, but Brett Junior Morris will lead that lap as they go into 1 and 2. Schultz on the low side, Berkeley on the high side of the racetrack in 1 and 2. It's got a lot of ground to make up after that rookie error, I'm going to call it. After he'd gotten on the grid and then got off the grid, and therefore he was not able to re-grid, and the cars rolled off for heat race number 3. Meanwhile, he's not going to let that one happen. Ooh, getting on the brakes big time as Morris, he just come up a little bit there, and Berkeley had to stab the brakes. Nice battle going on for third here at the moment. The 93, Brendan Hamilton, rides in third. Right on the outside of him in that 78 is John Schultz, trying to make a run for it, and I believe Zach Phelan as well in that 49. Watching the battle. We've got the box seat house at the moment. Morris takes him down the back straight away into 3 and 4. Runs the high side. Right up on that cushion. Berkeley trying to come through the middle. Halfway complete in your last chance qualifier. 6 down, 6 laps to go. Morris still leads over Berkeley in second. Hamilton in third. Zach Phelan moved up to position number 4 after contact with your race leader in their opening heat. John Schultz in 5th now. He's got pressure here from the 77 of Aaron Kelly. And the early race leader, Scott Griffiths, has just gone upside down. So the best battle on the racetrack at the moment is your battle for 5th and 6th. And that happens to be John Schultz and Aaron Kelly. They're probably the closest cars on the racetrack, as this last chance qualifier is spread out big time. And here comes Kelly on the inside. Goes to throw the big slide job, but had to get out of the gas to avoid getting into the left-hand side of John Schultz's race car. And well, Kelly, he's going to try again. Plenty of broadcasts coming up. Myself and especially Ultimate Dirt TV. In fact, I believe we got some midget racing tomorrow to come for the Tristo's race. I believe that's done by the V8 Online guys. I'm not sure they'll be in for that one. Final lap of the night, or for the last chance qualifier, I should say. And Morris leads down into 3 and 4. He will get the checkered flag and pick up the win in the last chance qualifier. Second will go to Berkeley. Third will be Zach Phelan. 4th, Brendan Hamilton. 5th is John Schultz. 6 will go to, looks like Aaron Kelly in this 77. So we'll see how many we are taking in this one, and let's see if our starting grid is going to work properly. So Lachlan Smith starts on the pole alongside James Robbie. Row number 2. On the inside, it's going to be Matt McCutcheon lining up alongside Lewis Hewitt. That is incorrect. That is going off qualifying times. Well, so that the first couple were right. Starting out of position number 3 in the 51, it's going to be Bob King. Into his outside is the 666 of Lewis Hewitt. Gavin Sadler starts out of position number 5. Into his outside is Matt McCutcheon. On the inside of row number 4, it's 66 of Harry Edwards. Into his outside, the 22 of Cameron Nance. Danny Vassell lines up alongside Trent Gosley. You go back to Terry Marwood and Brett Gerards. Marcus Konieczka in the 55 lines up alongside the 46 of Matthew Reid. Tammy Baston lines up alongside Brett Junior Morris. Joel Berkeley and Zach Fallon keep the 10th or 9th row occupied. You go back to Brendan Hamilton and John Schultz. And that is our cars for tonight's feature event. 30 laps the distance. Yes, yellow flags will count. Let's see who will pick up the win here. For, I believe it is round number 6 of the FKAU Midget Series at Eldora Speedway. Very popular track, this one. Very popular car as well. Lachlan Smith to lead us to the green flag. The revs start to increase, the pace quickens, and we are green. Let's get dirty for 30. Already 3 wide towards the front of the field. Even through the middle of the field. Still 3 wide. Dance running right through the middle. Oh no, contact. Gavin Sadler, Lewis Hewitt. Gavin Sadler has gone for a huge ride. Oh, Bob King involved as well. Man, this sucks. BALLS. Bob King, Lewis Hewitt, a couple of the favourites going into tonight's event. And it all came unstuck when I believe it was James Robbie who unfortunately got a little bit loose in turn number 3 and 4. King had nowhere to go. Hewitt had nowhere to go. Sadler had nowhere to go. And, oh, James Robbie coming through the pits. Tammy Bastain already in the pits. Gavin Sadler rolling into the pits as well. Right in behind Lewis Hewitt and Bob King. And James Robbie, you know he didn't want it. He doesn't like taking people out, but it was just car got a little bit loose. Car got out underneath him. And well, when you got, 18 or so midgets behind you coming in at full steam ahead, not a lot of time to react in these race cars. Lights are out on the pace truck as the drivers double up. We get set to go green off at turn number 4. This time it's going to be Lachlan Smith and Cameron Nance, so no race restart. It's all controlled by iRacing. So pace car into pit lane. As we are back underway in 3 wide again for the podium spots. Oh, McCutcheon, I believe that is. Matt McCutcheon upside down, just caught the left front. Trent Gosley upside down as well. Well, we've already lost probably a quarter of this field. And we really haven't even completed a lap. And well, I mean, it kind of sucks for these guys because, this racetrack has certainly got the potential to throw out some sliders. So it's 6 complete, 24 to run. It should be on 2 to green at the moment. We'll go through your restart order. Lachlan Smith still the race leader. Harry Edwards is now up into P number 2. Cameron Dance, position number 3. Danny Vassell in 4th. 5th, Marcus Konieczka. Brett Morris, your B main winner, up to position number 6. Right in behind him, your B main second place killer, Joel Berkeley, up to 7th. Terry Marwood in 8th. 9th is Brendan Hamilton. 10th is Matty Reid. You go back to Brett Gerards in 11th. John Schultz. Zach Phelan. And Bob King back onto the racetrack. Seeing if some of the other guys have been able to get back out. You know, Bob King, after that big wreck on the opening lap, has gotten back out, but he finds himself several positions down. Pace truck to enter pit road yet again. That left-hand turn. Lachlan Smith has the field. This time, a very good launch from the 911 of Lachlan Smith. Konieczka and Dance now make their way up into position number 2 and 3, but not without Harry Edwards giving up a fight, trying to work to the outside of Cameron Dance. Konieczka runs the low side. Oh, almost contact there between Vassell. We've also got Brett Junior Morris and also Joel Berkeley 3 wide. Edwards, keep an eye on that 6 machine. Working to the high side, and yellow is out, and we missed something here. And looks like we have John Schultz, who just tips it up on the side along with the 42 of Brett Gerards. And we see our third caution here on Ultimate Dirt TV. You're watching round number 6 of the FKAU Australian Speedway League, the Midget Series at the Eldora Speedway. So a bit of a frustrating race for these guys, knowing that they're not able just to find a rhythm yet, or not able to find a groove. And I'm not sure whether we'll be able to get an interview with our top 3, just depending if they are in Discord or not. But I'm sure Lachlan Smith will be. Cameron Dance, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to get him. And Marcus Konieczka or Harry Edwards, I'm sure we'll be able to find those guys, should they be able to hang on to our podium here. So we're almost coming up to the halfway stage of this race, as the lights flickering on and off the pace truck, they get turned off. And we have 17 laps left to run when we get the green flag. So it looks like we're down just to a depleted 12 car field here for the rest of the night. So far the highlight has been Heat 3, with McCutcheon and King throwing big slide jobs on each other, but we'll talk about that later on. We go back underway. Keep an eye on that 09, the second of the orange and white TTL cars. He's trying to make his way through the field, and he slides up into position number 3. Vassell on the inside, trying to keep that 97 rolling, but here comes Harry Edwards through the middle. 3 wide, if you don't mind, for position number 3. Berkeley on the top side. Edwards through the middle, and Vassell runs the low side. Oh, big wheel stand there. Just trying to catch that. No, motoring Brett Junior Morris there. So now that Edwards has fallen off from Vassell and Berkeley, they keep their eyes set on your podium right now. Keep an eye on the 09 as he works to the high side, but also the 97. Was that the race leader? No. It was a lap car in front of him. And, well, how about the race leader? He's now got pressure from the 22 of Cameron Dance. Down to 3 and 4. Already past halfway stage. 17 laps complete as they come across the start-finish line. Dance in second, right in behind Lachlan Smith. Berkeley up top. And how about Danny Vassell? What a job from the GSR team member. Also in that Andrews Crane Hire, car number 97, trying to hang on to that third spot. But Berkeley coming from the B main, trying to pick up the win here in round number 6. Vassell to the inside of Dance, and to his outside is Berkeley. Almost 3 wide, and yellow, why must you do it? We had 3 wide for the runner-up spot. And that was frustrating because we got Matt Reed and Brett Jr. Morris, Matty Reed in the GSR car number 46. There is smoke just pouring out of that race car. You see a little bit of smoke coming off the 18 of Brett Jr. Morris as well, but Matty Reed's night, he will be done for in that 46. Well, the race between your top 4. Lachlan Smith, Cameron Dance, Danny Vassell, Joel Berkeley, and tell you what, don't count out Harry Edwards just yet. He could be a sleeper in the field, but I tell you what, I mean, at the moment, wouldn't it be a big win here if Danny Vassell in that 97 could pick up a victory here? Even a podium would do wonders for his confidence. As mentioned earlier, there's quite a big midget race going on for tomorrow night. I believe presented by the V8 Online crew. But the Tristos Race for a Cure, I think it's called. So Lachlan Smith lines up alongside Cameron Dance, and we get about 11 cars are left in this one, so half the field. But I tell you what, the racing up front, it is quality over quantity at the moment. It's going to be a heat race, distance left, 22 laps complete as they come past the start-finish line, this time by 8 laps left to run. Watch for that 09 on the outside of the second row. Green is out, he can't really go anywhere because his teammate in front of him, he couldn't pass him on the inside. He can only pass on the outside. Now, here we go. Back to 3 wide action down the back straight away. Into turn number 3 and 4. 3 wide. Vassell on the low side. Dance through the middle. Dance now. Cuts it back underneath him. Well, I'll tell you what. Now, here comes Dance back to the inside of Vassell. And they make contact. And that gives Berkeley a free run on the top side. And with 6.5 to go, he is coming for the 911. The 09. Has he got something for your race leader? Smith has not been challenged the entire night or the entire distance of this A main. And with just 5.5 to go, this sets us up for a green-white checker. And this is going to be interesting. Oh my. The gloves are off. Let's see if we can find out who was the cause of that caution. Brett Jr. Morris at the back of the field. He may have been involved. That is not confirmed. And you just know Joel Berkeley's going to drive past Lachlan Smith here and lead a lap. As oh, he doesn't get it this time. Maybe next time. But I tell you what, Lachlan Smith, as the lights are still on, the pace truckers, they are flashing down the back straight away, which means these guys are on 2 to green, which will give us a green-white checker. And, well, this is going to be a grandstand finish. Lachlan Smith in that Triumph, looking to triumph in that 911 machine. Berkeley in that TTL Esports. Ash Media Speedway footage, Hyper Stimulator, down in the graphics, 09, runs in second, his teammate restarts in position number 3, that's Cameron Dance. Now remember, Cameron Dance at the start of the night had a shocking qualifying, he qualified 23rd, and now finds himself in position number 3, and potentially a challenge to pick up the win here. Let's keep an eye on the 09. This is it, Lachlan Smith. We're on board with Lachlan Smith. Oh, there it is. Race over. Yellow is out, and you just hate for it to end up like that. And that absolutely sucks. Because I tell you what, we were in for a treat. So we'll go through your finishing positions as the white flag is out on the racetrack. And I tell you who will be happy to see the checkered flag is going to be the 911 of Lachlan Smith. Berkeley will grab second. So Lachlan Smith picks up the win, and we'll go through your finishing results. Let's get that off screen. Let's bring that up, and there it is. No, that's not it. Just when it doesn't want to work. You know what? That's fine, because we'll do it like this. Same thing. Lachlan Smith picks up the win from Joel Oakley, Cameron Dance. Third, Harry Edwards, Marcus Knitska. In fact, let's try and get our top three in for an interview. Lachlan Smith, and let's find out if we can get permissions here in just a second. So we're just waiting on to get permissions or not, otherwise we won't be able to drag in our top three. So looks like we're not going to be able to get our top three, but let's try and grab the finishing result. No, it doesn't want to give it to us for some reason. You know what? That's fine. Well, that will conclude the 6th round of the FKAU Midget Series at Eldora Speedway. Thanks for watching here on Ultimate Dirt TV. We can't get an interview with our top three. So tomorrow night, let's go through and quickly have a look at what is going on for that one. Give you all the detailed information. In fact, there's 2 races tomorrow night that, well, the one race that I'll be doing here on Ultimate Dirt TV. Now, that'll be live on our Facebook page. So feel free to go over and like that one. Just type in Ultimate Dirt TV and that'll come up. It might come up as Team Friday TV, but just look for the Ultimate Dirt TV logo. Feel free to like and follow the page, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel. All of our content that we do, whether it's on Facebook, will get uploaded to YouTube as well. And Tristo's Midget Shootout 23 will be happening tomorrow on the program, and just trying to find out a start time for that one, but that'll be presented by V8 Online. However, tomorrow on Ultimate Dirt TV, coming up from, I believe it is 5:30 Sydney time, and the racing will start from 6:30. Basically, it'll be 2 cars on the same program. It'll be sprint cars, the 410s and midgets, and it is going to be the Slidefest 2018 back here at the Eldora Speedway. They're going to be running the Western Springs format, and we'll go through that quickly. So it'll be sprint cars heat 1 and heat 2. The midgets will come out for 2 heats. Sprint cars will have their 3rd heat, followed by the midget heat 3. Sprint cars will have their top 6 dash, followed by the midget top 6 dash, and then the sprint car 40 lap feature, followed by the midget 40 lap feature. At the moment there is 23 drivers signed up for the midgets, and we have 23 drivers signed up for the sprint cars as well, so it should be a beauty as drivers look to claim victory in the Slidefest 2018 at Eldora. And if tonight is to go by anything with the racing, especially in heat race number 3, we had Bob King and Matt McCutcheon. We're not going to grab our top 3. I can't. I don't have permission, so that'll do it for me, for myself. My name is Brett Wheeler, and on behalf of everyone here at Ultimate Dirt TV, we thank you for tuning in. And congratulations to Lachlan Smith, Joel Berkeley, and Cameron Dance, your top 3 in tonight's feature event. Take care and good night.